Epic Games has started their wave of unbans, and there is one particular player that myself and many others would like to see actually get unbanned. And before you comment down below, I know it's not technically a ban, it's a disable, but with what Epic Games is doing right now, I believe there is one right thing to do as somebody who has supported the game for so long, and today we're going to be talking about that. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. So the person I am obviously talking about, in case you don't know, is I Talk. Now that the waves of unbans have been happening, in case you don't know what is happening as well, Epic Games decided that they want to give everybody a second chance who's been banned for cheating. Everybody is coming back now. If you've been banned for hacking, cheating, whatever it may be, you are now allowed to return to Fortnite. Now, one person that we don't know if is going to be able to return is I Talk, and I Talk ended up posting this because the unban ban has started. I Talk said this: "I know I didn't cheat at Fortnite, but it would mean the world if you let me use my old account again. Please consider it. I've covered the item shop every day for the last 6.5 years. I've dedicated my life to this game. Take off the merge cosmetics for all I care. I collected every item shop skin from that point on, every exclusive, everything. This is probably the only chance that I have." We've talked about I Talk before. We've talked about the account ban in general, and now it's not an account ban. It's a disabled account. So it doesn't look like it's going to actually be a part of this brand new unban wave, but honestly, it should be. We made an entire video talking about the cheaters, and my personal stance on it is people who willingly hack and get into a game. And to be honest with you, I should have clarified my stance a little bit better than I have. Something that I got a little bit of backlash for was I said that people typically don't change. Yeah, you know what? If you're a kid and you get a hold of some hacks, you don't think it's a big deal. Yes, I do believe those types of people change, but I'm talking about the people who will cheat their way into FNCS, the people trying to rob millions of dollars from people trying to make it in the competitive scene. Those types of people absolutely don't change. I'm not here to talk about the point of the unbans, why Epic Games is doing it, or my thoughts on it. My point being, though, as much as I am against cheaters being unbanned, this is happening. And if you're going to give everybody a second chance, if you're going to give the people who are actively ruining the game from other people, if you're going to give the people who are cheating their way into potential earnings, robbing it from other people, trying to, build monumental wealth for their family, you're leaving I Talk banned? The guy who got an account given to him and he merged it back in the day. Now, something that I was wondering about is I didn't know what the merging system was even for, but he got banned for it. Is Epic Games seriously? And I hope that they have plans to unban I Talk. I really, really hope that they do. And the weird thing is, they have to know. They have to know that the community wants I Talk unbanned. And I know you're going to comment down below and say, well, I personally don't like I Talk. I would imagine that most people would like to see I Talk unbanned. There's a lot of support and a lot of people like just making fun of him on Twitter as well. But I would imagine more support than people disagreeing with it. Somebody who has spent, and I can't even imagine the amount of money he spent supporting this game just because of an account merge. If you want to talk about rules or rules, you're banned, fine. I totally get that. There's really no argument against it. But if you're bringing back every cheater under the sun, just because one account was disabled and not technically banned, we're going to leave I Talk out of that equation. I think that's beyond ridiculous, and it kind of reinforces my idea. And I'm sure that I've talked about in other videos, guys. This doesn't make sense to me, that they didn't figure this out, that I Talk ended up merging his account. It honestly wouldn't shock me if somebody waited for him to have a bunch of money, or if even at Epic Games, because we know that, I don't know this personally, but apparently I Talk does know people over at Epic Games, and I've heard that from other creators as well, and not even those people can help him. I don't know what is going on, or if it's one person that particularly has it out for I Talk. I don't understand why he's if you were to make an exception for somebody, why would it not be him? And I get it again. I get it. Rules are rules. Rules are rules. But if I was in charge, man, for somebody who supported the game that long and spent, and I wish I could even ballpark a number, but I can't. The amount of money that he spent in support of the game, just because he wanted a couple skins, I would give him another chance. I really would. And I'm somebody who's hardcore, no, rules are rules, you shouldn't have done it. I imagine it is very simple for Epic Games to just take off the skins that were merged. I don't imagine that being very difficult at all. Is it a couple minutes worth of a job? I have no idea. But again, if we are unbanning everybody under the sun, I Talk absolutely deserves his account back. And it's a shame. And what I was getting at, I think I got a little bit off track, but what I was getting at was it kind of reinforces my idea. If I Talk does not get his account unbanned after everybody's coming back, it reinforces my idea that somebody at Epic Games actually has it out for him. Why? I have no idea, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't get it. Somebody who is so big, so influential in the community, a relatively nice guy. Like, I'm just starting to get to know him, but he's been nothing but respectful, and his content really showed that as well. Like, he's always been one of the more chill people in the community. The live streams, like, one of the most unproblematic, normal people in the entirety of the Fortnite space. Yeah, we're not going to give this guy a second chance, but we're going to give everybody who wanted to rob people of their money and cheat and actively ruin your live service another chance. Yeah, that makes sense to me. My initial thought when the unban wave happened, and I hate thinking like this, but my initial thought actually was, okay, they better unban I Talk. And I know that might sound arrogant coming from my position. Obviously, like, who am I to say, like, Epic Games better do this? But it's like, come on. With what they're doing right now, that's crazy, man. But of course, it's not just about what I think. I wanted to take a look at a couple replies over from I Talk talking about this and people in the Fortnite community in general. The problem with this one, though, is obviously we're not going to have too much to talk about because there's a lot of, oh my god, stop crying about your Fortnite skins, and there's also a lot of, yeah, this is ridiculous, Epic Games, what are you doing? We need to unban I Talk. A lot of that, but there are a couple things that we wanted to take a look at. By the way, guys, like and subscribe to the video if you have not already. Let's take a look at what Happy Power said. They'd rather have the hackers back, Nick. It doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, let's bring back all the hackers, not I Talk. Let's continue on to what Creaky Q had to say. I find it insane how literal cheaters got unbanned, but people like you still have the ban. Kinda wild if you ask me. Agreed. I wish there was something that I could expand upon this, but I think we pretty well covered all of the bases. Pony had this to say, sadly, the unban policy they published was only for players who cheated in the game. Other than that, they stated this in their article. Broken other rules resulting in a lifetime ban, nothing changes. The lifetime ban is still in effect. I think that's crazy. Again, I get that, but with what they're doing, somebody at Epic Games can give I Talk that second chance. And I know there's going to be people commenting down below too. You need to have consistent logic. You can't give special treatment. I'm willing to give somebody special treatment with the amount of money that he has spent supporting this game. I'm totally willing to give somebody special treatment for that, okay? Forsaken had this to say, the fact they'll unban literal cheaters but not someone who merged an account that was given to him with his main is insane. Yep. Just take the skins off. It really is that simple. I honestly feel so bad for the position that he's in right now. Dark's Commander had this to say, as much as I don't agree with the unban wave, it should be an all or nothing deal. If they're unbanning people using cheats in lobbies, then I can't see why they wouldn't unban people for merging cosmetics. One negatively impacts the experience for others, the other didn't. That's a good way to put it. One negatively impacts the experience for others, and one didn't. That's exactly true. And I am with Dark over here and saying, as much as I don't agree with the unban wave, why are we leaving people like I Talk out of this? It really is just a big slap in the face of somebody who's supported your game for this long. It's crazy to me. Somebody who is just a fan of Fortnite skins. And I get it. You can't account merge. But we're bringing everybody else back, and it does not make any sort of sense to me. Guys, let me know what you think about all this down below. Thank you for watching. Why don't you check out this video with my reaction, a little bit of a harsh reaction to the initial ban wave when it first came out. Just keep in mind what I said in this video when you're watching that one. I should have clarified my stance on that more, but it still is a good video in my opinion, so I'd love to have you over there. Thanks for watching. Take care.